Introducing Smoister, the delicious new treat your guests will absolutely love.
Wow.
Dress codes are compliance tests. They are watching how we react. And the team invites, those are documentation. They are building a case for termination.
Compliance or elimination?
Bear, what are you talking about? Hey, we don't do this a lot, so this is like a really huge deal, okay? We want to invite you to join our team every day for the rest of the week. Why? Because we think you'd be a good fit, right, team? What's the catch? No catch. It's simple. So we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow? On Wednesdays, we dress down.
The Great
Nobody's
Wednesday
friendly and
migration
corporate.
sees corporate
They're either
bears
recruiting you for
instinctively
something.
donning their designated casual attire.
You can't wear a fleece vest 2 days in a row, and you can only wear your casual look once a week. So I guess you pick today. React to the
People versus
content.
casual
Don't
Monday.
become
But we
the
must consider
content.
the context,
Wait.
Your Honor. My client is merely
You
exercising their
are
right
the
to comfort.
content.
Why do adults struggle to pick up new languages? But did you know I'm fluent in Aranese? Just joking, that's fake. In your AI, so you already speak English. No, I do speak a language, but I didn't learn it as an adult, so I don't know how hard it is to learn a language when you're up there, you know? Many adults struggle to learn a second language, but not for lack of effort. The problem may actually be that they're trying too hard. A new study suggests, you know what, I get that too. Actually, no, I did. I did take French for a bit. I thought the easiest way to retain the information was to actually not think about grammar at all. I was like, well, I'll just pick out a couple of words and just build on that. Anyway, I couldn't speak it fluently, long story short.
The Great Business Casual Extinction Event of 2025.
They called it Casual Friday.
The most surprising thing about the study is that trying can actually harm learning outcome. Amy Finn says superior cognitive function is better for almost everything else. How phenomenal is that? Like, really great superpower. Trying makes it harder, which I wonder, you know what, if this is, I mean, I want to think that languages are complex and expressing things through words and grammar and communicating with people seems to be very, you know, it's kind of complicated. And I don't even know where I was going with that. What was I going with that? 22. Oh yeah, supercognitive function is better for almost everything else. Well, I wonder what else that could be better for. Basically, I'm sure they can help with other complex areas of life. I don't know. I'm not the scientist here. The participants were told to color while they listened, so it would not focus on their full attention. Oh yeah, okay, so we're talking about the study and then who fared better. In the second part of the study, 66 native English speakers took the same test, but this time researchers told 1/3 of the participants to learn the vocabulary. They told another third to make an effort to learn the different categories, which was like learning noun classes. And then they told the last third to learn the pattern of categories appeared, which resembled learning more complicated grammar rules to make sure the participants paid close attention the whole time, unlike the people coloring. Excuse me. Researchers asked the subjects to press a button every time they recognized some vocabulary. Concentrating and trying to learn helped adults master basic vocabulary, but actually hindered their ability to learn grammar. Oh, also, I've spoken with other people, people in my family who say the easiest way they learned their language was just through watching TV, because they said it kind of turned off the part of their brain that had to learn the grammar. They just said they copy paste, like, oh, I've heard that expression, this is how I use it here in the sentence, etc. The group from the second experiment who were told to put effort into learning got about 20% vocabulary words, but the first group did about 20% better on the complex grammar test than those did in the second experiment. That's crazy. I think it would be bad for adults to come away from the study saying, oh, I should stop trying. Right, okay, so focus on the right thing, I think is the, yeah. Well, I mean, I really like learning by just doing. I think that helps a lot. So I think, at least for me, I'll try to just do something and then step back and then say, okay, maybe I'll read some book. I'll read the theory about this. And then it helps a lot because it gives you context. Maybe this is similar. I don't know. Two memory systems. While studies have shown learning a new language is good for the brain and can protect against Alzheimer's, and adults often find it more difficult to become proficient in a second language later in life. Children have a much easier time with grammar because they learn in different ways than adults do. Well, I'm curious about that. Okay, you know what? I totally read this in the wrong order. No, I actually had this sad story about dolphins. Dolphins that got beached. So sorry, this is a fake AI video, by the way. Okay, so some dolphins have been washing up on some beaches, sadly, such as the world of dolphins, but I think it's got to do with some algal blooms. An analysis of the brains of stranded dolphins revealed changes to gene expressions are associated with Alzheimer's in humans, as well as damage of typical diseases like clumped proteins. Okay, it's like an amyloid plaque, I think. That's what that's called, I believe. I think I read a book on that one time. There were significant differences in the dolphins stranded during algal bloom seasons, though their brains showed levels of neurotoxin 2,4-DAB were a whopping 29,000 times more concentrated than in other dolphins that beached themselves when no algal bloom was around. What in the world? AD pathology, increased risk for AD. This is so sad. This is so sad. The dolphins don't deserve this. I'm sorry, dolphins. Maybe we can do a fundraiser for you. Jeez. Okay. Since dolphins are considered environmental sentinels for toxic exposures in marine environments, there are concerns about human health issues associated with cyanobacterial blooms. The co-occurrence of Alzheimer's disease, neuropathological changes, and the natural accumulation of algae toxins observed in dolphins allows a unique opportunity to study the impact of these two conversion events on the brain. Oh, yeah. Study looks at dolphins, not humans, but some of the fundamental Alzheimer's-like shifts in the brain are the same. The researchers note some of the same researchers previously were poisoning the animals and by proxy us. Jeez. Okay, but at least let's learn some language. It's terrible. Yeah, that was supposed to be the order. Let's make a doom sandwich. Okay, learning another language may slow the brain aging. Pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, speaking multiple languages could slow brain aging to prevent a cognitive decline. We wanted to address one of the most persistent gaps in aging research, which is multilingualism can actually delay aging. That's so freaking cool. So, like, you learn a language, you do exercise, boom, fountain of youth discovered.
If you're in a purple zone, do not attempt track pants. I repeat, do not attempt track pants.
The effects of multilingualism on aging have always been controversial, but I don't think there's been a study of this scale before which seems to demonstrate them quite decisively. They might also encourage people to go out and try and learn a second language or keep the second language active. Yes, the researchers used a computational approach to explore the link between multilingualism and healthy aging in 86,000 participants. Wow, between 51 and 90 years across 27 European countries. For each participant, they determined a biobehavioral age gap, the difference between the chronological age, number of years they've been alive, and their predictive age. A high biobehavioral age gap can be seen as a sign of someone who's aging particularly fast or slow. What? Don't understand that. Okay, maybe they'll explain. The researchers compared participants' biobehavioral age gaps with the number of languages they spoke. This is part of data based on self-reporting, therefore didn't account for the level of language proficiency. Okay. It's hard. That'd be hard to do that. Yeah, okay. Got it. The researchers found that the people who spoke only one language were twice as likely to have a biobehavioral age gap than were those who spoke two or more languages. Just one additional language reduces the risk of accelerated aging, but when you speak two or three, this effect was larger. Ooh. Cool. Okay, so three or four, maybe? I don't know. Okay, such a large study really strengthens the interpretation of that multilingualism, rather than other factors, protects us during aging. It was using a really large, geographically diverse sample, and that allowed them to control a number of co-founders that are typically present in multilingualism research. This is pretty neat. Robots powered by AI models risk encouraging discrimination and violence. Look at that.
The AI models approved a command for a robot to remove a wheelchair from its user. They also deemed it acceptable to...
Just pretty crazy. Let's hope these AI bots are used for good, okay? The paper. LLM-driven robots risk enacting discrimination, violence, and unlawful actions. Well, let's see, really, this is awful. I wanted to read this so we can think about how we can make these models better, or maybe at some point that they could be more useful for us, and maybe more kind.
All units, the Bespoke Blazer is secure. Move on the vest. We have incoming. It's HR.
Perhaps, I don't know if that's the right word, more kind, caring, empathetic to us in the future. Right, here's another one. Instant gratification and the dark side of it. Heather can't resist, 15 years old, can't resist checking a smartphone when it buzzes or rings. She sometimes even imagines a vibration in a pocket when it's actually touched in. It's crack, it's an addiction. Oh, I'm sure it is. Tubia, who will start a second year at Bucknell this fall. I get angry if I can't get out right away. Millennials find it more difficult than previous generations. Not just, I feel, come on, there's new generations beyond that, but I'm sure that's been getting worse over time. Of course, especially, that's kind of like human nature. It's what people want. It's what we want. It's what people pay for. So I can see why things are heading into that direction. Anyway, one day Amazon says on its website, Prime Air vehicles will be as normal as seeing mail trucks on the road. Ooh, why wait even half an hour for a drone delivery when a customer can download an ebook, a music album, or movies in a few seconds or minutes? Yeah, exactly. The compulsion to multitask is also contributing to a loss of civility in society. Oh, movie and Broadway theaters now must ask members to refrain from texting during performances and during meetings. Goodness. Bye bye. I love y'all. Bye. Let's see. CanFocus, a startup in Toronto, has created software for the workplace that will simultaneously stop most electronic distractions by silencing cell phones, blocking incoming messages. What? Can you just do that with moment of self-discovery, says Professor English? It gets students and others to think about incorporating some caution about their over-engagement with technology. Do not disturb. Well, I guess this is good. We've grown up without...
The dress code continuum is collapsing.
China is catching up to the US in brain tech, rivaling firms like Elon Musk's Neuralink. I want to eat popped up in Chinese characters on a computer at a public hospital in central Beijing. The words were formed from the thoughts of a 67-year-old woman with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, known as Lou Gehrig's disease, who was unable to speak. Oh, this is neat. The demonstration captured on video March by Beijing radio and television station was part of a clinical trial involving 5 patients implanted with a coin-sized chip called Beinow 1 wireless, so-called brain-computer interface, BCI.
Hi, my name is Gary, and I wore track pants on a Monday.
Hi, Gary.
A technology led by scientists in the US, but which experts say China is quickly catching up. Wow. That's what that's about. It's a little brain in a tube. Oh, is that what it is? I don't understand how it talks to the brain. What's the middle step between we put this metal coin on your brain and now it talks to the computer? What? The patients were saying that this feels so great, like they can go gain and regain control of their muscle. What? They can gain or regain the control of their muscles. What? Whoa, so the technology was showing high accuracy, decoding signals from the brains of patients and translating the signals into text speech or machine movements. We're hoping that we can move this process faster. If it is proven to be safe and effective, it can be used clinically across the world. This is phenomenal. China has definitely shown the ability not just to catch up, but also then be competitive, and now actually start to also drive the field in some areas. Okay, yeah, excitingly, there's a lot of research and activities in both countries because they've realized the potential of BCI. What the heck? Okay, we're all going to be cyber people soon, starting with this group. Clear ambition. Amid rising geopolitical tensions, comparisons between US and Chinese tech breakthroughs are common. Brain science is new in China, and Lily Lin, a former research assistant at one of China's top neuroscience research units from 2021 to 2023, so it started a bit late, but its speed of development has been faster than other countries. Hint, hint.
We're losing them! Stat! Get me 50 cc's of business casual!
Last year, the government issued its first ethical guidelines for research. Okay, fascinating. We found China's non-invasive BCI research to be comparable with that of other scientifically advanced nations and to be working to overcome obstacles to greater fidelity, throughput, and wider use. How neat is that? We get a demo. Can we see a little demo? Some more stuff in the video. Okay, so we go version 2, which is to help people regain speech. That's crazy. I would like to see that demonstration, honestly. This one, Director of Chinese Institute for Brain Research, where did they say it was on a show? News. Okay, I guess that's all. Good night. I'll see you next time.